What's up, everybody? It's Andrew from Let's Park It, and I'm here with
Zach, the official co-host now,
the
apparently.
official co-host. It has been deemed official, which it already was anyways. You just didn't know about it. And we're here with episode 3 already. Number 3. Yeah, that's kind of nuts already. One day we were just like, hey, you want to record something? And then now we're here with episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nothing has changed.
No.
We're still in quarantine, but today's topic is a controversial one. And I think our answers are going to be different on this one. It is a top 5 list of what we think is the best. But Zach, where is this top 5 list taking place?
Universal Orlando Resort.
Yes.
So that's both parks or 3 parks. I don't know if you have any water park
I
stuff
didn't
in
include
yours.
any water stuff into mine.
I
was
didn't either.
thinking just
Yeah.
Hollywood, or not Hollywood, but Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure.
Same here. So
There's plenty to choose from. And this is past, future, and present. Well, it's not future, but, you know. It's
of all time.
Of all time, which I have a feeling I already know one of your rides on the list. But, so yeah. We're going to go over the top 5. That way you see which ones we have, which ones we differ. And we're going to tell you why we think it's in the list and why we feel it should be there on the list. Anyways, you ready to get into this, Zach?
Let's do it.
Top 5 theme park attractions, rides, whatever at Universal Studios. Let's get into this. Number 5. You go first, Zach.
All right. My number 5 is Escape from Gringotts.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Now, why was it at your number 5?
I think that was like the first like roller coaster screen ride hybrid that we've seen. And I don't know, I just really enjoy it.
It's a great ride, and I can't say anything bad about it. Whether or not it placed in my list will be seen later on or not. Number 5 for me is E.T. I feel like some nostalgia people are going to place this one higher, but it necessarily isn't a great ride. It's been around forever, but the nostalgia alone, it had to go into my list.
Yes.
You walk into that forest and you smell that smell.
Oh, just take it all in.
Yeah, and you're like, where am I? Even though when you get on the ride, you're like, this is awesome, but at the same time, you're like, this needs to be updated. There are definitely probably other rides that could be on this easily, but you know, it's there for nostalgia. All right, number 4. You can
Number
go.
4 is The Mummy.
Ooh, really? That's low on the list.
It is. I think the ones above it are pretty good. So.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, short indoor roller coaster, and it's really fun.
It is.
And one of my best memories is when we were on VIP tour, just riding it over and over and over again.
That was so fun. It is such a re-rideable ride, especially when you have a group of people and you're able to just, like we did, we just rode it over and over. And if you guys haven't done a VIP tour during Halloween Horror Nights, you need to, because they allow you to do pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah, make sure it's private, though, to do that.
Private is the way to go. And it's not that much more expensive. It's not. It really isn't. Especially if you only have a night to go and do it, I highly recommend it. And you pretty much have full reign of the park. It's amazing. Number 4 for me is Escape from Gringotts. It's that Harry Potter ride that I truly enjoy. And I think really brought me into the movie. I don't necessarily think Forbidden Journey did that as much. It did, but it didn't. I think this one, with the sets and everything that you walk in with Diagon Alley, has everything going for it. And I think that's why it's top of my list.
Yeah. And you can't beat that facade either.
That is
fucking
crazy.
Dragon, like.
Yeah. And that first drop, too, if you're in the back seat, If you're in the
Oh,
front
yeah.
seat versus the back seat, it's two different experiences.
And I love people's reaction that have never been on it when that happens.
Because they think it's like, oh, it's Harry Potter, whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom!
Yeah.
It's such a cool ride, and I love that whole element where it's half roller coaster, half like screen, half like I don't know, track base. It's really neat how they did the whole
Yeah.
thing.
If there's one thing that I could improve on, it would be the length. I want it want more, but
Absolutely.
other
Like
than that, it's great.
needs to be another minute and a half longer for sure. Could definitely have gone and done some crazy stuff. Some more dropping would have been cool, but you know, it's still a great ride. All right, what were we in next?
My number 3, which is E.T.
Okay, E.T. Phone Home.
Yep, classic. It's probably the only one left from the opening of the park.
It is actually. Left. It is the only one.
Yeah,
I think.
And
I'm pretty sure.
I still enjoy it. Like, I remember going to it as a kid and loving it. I still love it. You know, you have fun putting your fake names on the ride.
Yes, that's the major key point of that. Putting in your fake name, not your real name. Who does that?
Yeah. What's the weirdest name that you've done?
I haven't done any weird names. It was always just like Steve or Joe or funny. Tim. You know, you always do Steven because, of course, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And I never did anything super crazy, but it was always just I just give myself some weird random nickname and be like, that's not my real name. And they don't care. Pressing that thing. It's such a neat system, like to have all those names in there, and then E.T. says it at the end, but usually he doesn't because he's saying the other group's names or something.
And there's still, I don't think, another ride that will do that.
No, I don't know which rides do that. So, and that was what, 20 years ago? Something more than that? It's crazy how old that ride is. It needs to be updated though. Like,
leave it alone.
that'll be a sad day when that ride goes for sure. It
won't be until Spielberg dies though.
Well, Corona's going around. This is why it's happening. Oh. Wait, number 3. Okay. So number 3 for me is Spider-Man. Okay. I remember the first time I ever went to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. It was actually a couple months after it opened because it was considered a flop kind of when it opened. No one was really going to it. And we went down my family vacation when I was like 12 to Universal Studios. We went to Disney World first, and it was my father, my mom, me, and my younger sister, who was probably 8 or 6. It was around that age. And we did not like Disney. We hated Disney. And because I was like teenage boy, action, excitement, adventure, and it just didn't, Disney wasn't doing it for us. And we went to Universal Studios, and it was never been there. It was a complete change. I was like, oh my God, where are we? And I had wanted to go on Spider-Man, and I kept telling my dad, I'm like, Dad, we got to go on Spider-Man. We got to go on Spider-Man. He's like, no, it's fine. It's just like a dumb indoor ride, whatever. And even back then, I finally got him to go on it. I had never been on it. And he was like, Andrew, that was the best ride ever. And we went on it 3 more times that day because no one was at the park, and we just kept riding it. So that was like kind of like I think probably nostalgia again for me. And then like riding that and like being to my father, being like, I told you it was going to be good, you know? And they upgraded it like in the past couple of years, and it still holds up.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I think it's way better than Transformers. And if Transformers is on this list for you, then I'm sorry, Zach. We can't be friends anymore.
It's not. Spoiler alert. It's not.
It's just, I think it's a damn good ride that uses both physical and screen. They did it right the first time, and they kind of started screwing it up after that.
Yeah. That was a close contender for my list, but it didn't make it. But I was when they revamped it, I was the first like public car that went through.
Oh, really?
I went to the media event for that. It was fun.
Oh, that's awesome. That must have been like oh my God, it looks so much better.
Yeah.
'Cause that stuff starts dating real quick.
Oh yeah.
And then they upgrade it. It's just a good comp. Like the practical versus the special are like so well combined. And I'm sad that they didn't do that as well in Transformers. They had all the technology, and I think they wasted it on that ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to number 2.
Number 2 is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure.
Same right here. That's my number 2 as well. So go first.
So this is one that kept getting hyped up for me, but it lives up to the hype.
100%.
Amazing.
It's so cool. It's literally so cool. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Lost my train of thought.
It's like the first time I rode it, we had waited like 2 hours in line, whatever, the whole thing. But they have beer stops in the way. It's fine, whatever. But it's the one ride where you're like, oh, this is worth the wait. It totally, the sets you see, the experience, it's something.
It's not another screen ride.
No. And it's a roller coaster, but it's not a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's I want to ride it right now. I'm just thinking about it, going like.
It's pretty intense, and that's a ride I would wait 2 hours to ride.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's different experiences because I've been able to ride it I don't know if you've ridden it at night too.
I haven't been able to.
At night when they have all the lights on and you have your motor car and the bike, it's a whole different experience because you can't see anything. So you're going through the woods in the dark, and it's an entirely different experience. And it's well worth the wait. Luckily, when the park opens again, the wait isn't as long, but of course it still will be.
And if you haven't ridden it, don't watch the ride through. Just go on it.
Yeah, just go. It's always better when you go. But even if you do watch it, there's no really good ride throughs right now because they don't really allow cameras at Universal as much as they do Disney. There are some good ones, I think, though. But just there's some parts in there that you don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah,
there's some really cool parts.
Fun watching the reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Like Megan hadn't watched anything for it.
Yeah.
And it was just fun watching her reaction.
Just like, oh my God, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, so then we're down to the number 1. The best ride, in our opinion, at Universal Studios. And I think I already know which one you're going to put. So, Zach, go first.
Let's see. Can you guess it?
It's Jaws. You're going to say Jaws.
Absolutely.
Why Jaws?
It's just, it was unique. And I remember being terrified of it as a kid. And then coming back years later and loving it.
Yeah. Well, then you got to go to Japan, sir.
Yes, I really want to.
And you got to go on the studio tour because we still have a partial studio tour Jaws aspect, which isn't as cool, but it'll
still bring back the memories.
Yeah, you get to still see Bruce coming out of the water, jumping out, and everyone's like, "Oh, I didn't know this was gonna happen." Yeah. You're like, "Yeah, you did."
And it's like different skippers give you a different ride.
Yeah,
it's always fun.
Jungle Cruise style.
I remember when I went to Full Sail, Alex Arjun, he used to do it in the car on the way to Universal. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
He memorized the whole thing, had the music.
That's too funny. Yeah, so it's a nostalgia ride for you as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So with that being said, my number 1 ride at Universal Studios, can you guess?
I don't know. I would have thought it was something older. I don't know.
It is The Mummy. My favorite ride is The Mummy. Yeah. We've had some amazing times on The Mummy. And it's such a crazy ride that you don't expect. You do not expect that ride to be in that queue line at all. Not like it takes you. It was another ride that when I went for the first time, I didn't ride it the first time because we didn't know what it was. And then I rode it the second time, which was like a couple years later. And I was like, how do we not ride this ride? And ever since then, it's the first one that we go on. It's the one that we've been on multiple times and the one that we always want to ride again. And it's way better in Orlando than it is in Hollywood. And I ride it every time I go in Hollywood. And I go a lot. It's just not as good. It's just not as good. So I miss the original one. And I do want them to revamp it a little bit or do something different. I appreciate the ride and I enjoy it. However, I would love something maybe rethemed, but like that same thrill.
Yeah.
It's super cool. I love that ride.
One of the coolest pyro effects in a ride.
So cool. You're just like, what is going on? And then the cup of coffee thing at the end with Brendan Fraser. I was get my cup of coffee. You know, it's definitely a must ride. I think both. I wish people could experience Jaws. However, if you can't go on the Mummy, you know, if you're at Universal Studios, all of these rides are going to be amazing rides. Just try to get on them all. Yeah. I think that's our top 5. We could have done a top 10 list easily.
Oh yeah.
But you know,
want to mention some honorable mentions?
Yeah, I have some honorable mentions. You want to go first?
I have Hulk as an honorable mention.
That's exactly what I was going to say. However, I'll tell you right now, as I've been getting older, the Hulk is not as my body doesn't like the Hulk as much as it used to.
Yeah.
I rode it. What?
It's a ride, like, if it's over a certain amount of wait time, it's like, let's just skip it for today.
But is intense.
Yeah. Just the launch alone is worth it.
Another one that I think gets passed up is Dr. Doom. It's a shoot. You shoot straight up. I think that's an anticipation killer right there, where you just like you don't know what's going on, but do not wait for that ride. Those lines can be crazy for that one. So there's only so many that can go at a time. I'm trying to think of other Men in Black. That's always a fun time for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Especially on a drunken Halloween Horror Nights night.
Oh, and you're just shooting stuff and trying to, There's like all the rides at Universal are awesome, but it's like the ones you want to ride and ride over again. What's your number one don't ride?
I mean, Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious sucks, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's the
worst. I don't
worst.
know what they were thinking.
Nope, and it's just a generic port from Universal Hollywood, so.
Yeah, I mean, I know Disaster was showing its age, but it was still unique.
Yeah, compared to what they did. Like, if they were going to do anything and take a generation or a port directly from Hollywood, like they did King Kong, to make it their own version, like they did, which is good. I like the King Kong that they did in Islands of Adventure, but they literally just took over everything and didn't do anything different with Fast and Furious, and it shows. Like,
yeah,
it's my least favorite part.
And they fucking removed Beetlejuice. Sorry, we went this whole podcast without swearing.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, that sucks. Universal, I don't know what you were thinking with Fast and Furious. I understand it's the biggest franchise you guys have like basically ever had, but you kind of screwed the pooch on that one. Could have been so much cooler. I love Fast and Furious too, like, and it just doesn't do anything.
Those guilty pleasure movies.
Yeah, not even guilty pleasure. I will watch those movies every day. Give me some Tokyo Drift all the time. Yeah, well, this is kind of a short one. Do you have anything else to add there? I think we went over the whole list. Anything else?
No. Pretty solid lists. I mean, it was basically the same, but with a couple.
Yeah, pretty much just a few variants. We already pretty much knew each other's lists anyways. Anyways, guys, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, go on the podcast, all that jazz. Comment down below what you'd like us to discuss next. all that kind of stuff. This is getting way easier to say the more we do it. Other than that, guys, we'll check in next time. And with that being said, Zach, I think we'll have one thing to say. Let's
Yeah.
park it.
Let's park
Zach's
it.
like, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to say.